What's up, guys? Louie here, chilling with Tommy Valley, T Vizzle, and we just finished playing Don't Get Stabbed.
Brought to you by Rookie Mag Games.
And we're gonna get deep into it. So, let's get spooky together. This is Haunted Hangover.
Inspired by some of your favorite slasher films of the 80s, Don't Get Stabbed is a card game where up to 4 players must survive the wrath of a masked killer on the prowl. Featuring bright colors and an assortment of horror movie references, Don't Get Stabbed will have you screaming for more.
So, don't get stabbed. What's the point of the game? Don't get stabbed. Unless you're the killer, of course. You can either play as a survivor, but each game has one person assigned to be the killer, and that's kind of a unique feature of the game that's pretty cool. It changes up the pace of the game between how many people you're playing with. About 3 to 5 people is recommended, and each round could take about 15 minutes. We did play like an hour-long game. That one was very frustrating in a good way. That good kind of frustrating where you're building up the tension. You're like, will somebody win or will somebody die? I died early on, so I'm sitting there watching people play in my place. That's another cool function about the game, is that the whole point is if you're the survivor, you're trying to build this car as you're drawing cards. And if you're the killer, you're trying to prevent that and have everyone get killed by drawing stab cards. So in the game, there are 4 types of cards. Ultimately, the point of the game for the survivor is to collect the car cards and try to spell out the word car. That is your escape, is the car. In order to get the car cards, you have to trade in the right amount of combo cards. You get 2 of a like, you could trade it in for a car card, and hopefully you get the appropriate letter you need to spell the word car. Now, fun thing is that filled throughout the car cards is also things like dead battery, lost keys, car won't start, your grandma's dead. Something that will stop you from starting the car. And that's fun, but also for the killer. If you get 3 combo cards, you can steal a letter, preventing the escape of the survivors.
Alright, so we played 2 games of Don't Get Stabbed. One, we ended in like 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah, it was very quick.
And then the second one ended in maybe 30. It was crazy because you died in the second one.
Yep.
I was the killer, right? Yeah, I was the killer.
You were the killer,
and
I
you
died.
So, and my girlfriend was the other survivor, and she
wouldn't die.
She wouldn't die.
Just wouldn't.
So the game is weird. Like, it's almost like, because when you play Uno, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Where it's like a game can go right by really quick, and a game can be or really long. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how that happened.
Well, one of the pros is that it's a very, efficient game. There's two piles of cards to choose from when you're playing. It's very easy to understand. Everything's color coded and explained on the card itself. So, and it's also very easy to learn as you go. So even if you don't quite pick up on it right away, you're watching people play, you pick up a card, you read it, you're like, oh, I get where this goes, I get what I gotta do.
The instructions are pretty self-explanatory
too.
They're not too difficult to read. It looks intimidating at first, like this is what it looks like, but it's actually really funny because it explains like what every card is. There's even a little picture here of a group of people playing, some of the killer, Stabby, and all the people. So it's pretty simple. Like if everyone's drinking, I think a group of people could figure out how to play this.
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely. There's a few rules that could preferably be ironed out more.
Yeah.
I do know that as the killer, once you trade in 3 combo cards, you cannot draw or take a turn. However, as the killer, what really we kept wanting to know is if the killer, because the killer can use as many action cards as they can in a turn. However, does that mean you also get to draw? We didn't know, because that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
You're playing as many action cards as you want. Can you then still draw?
But honestly, a game like this, I feel like you can tweak the rules however you want.
Introduce house rules.
Yeah, it's like I said, like even like personally, like something like Uno, we'll make up like not our own rules, but we'll play it the way it's supposed to be played, but add certain things. And with a game like this, you can tweak like, okay, if you want the game to maybe go a little longer, the killer can't put down as many action cards as you want. So let's say you have 3 action cards. Oh, I get to look at this person's deck. I get to take a card away from this person. you can maybe say the killer can only put down one. So I feel like you can tweak the rules. You know, you can go by the book, but you can also tweak it to make it either go, quicker, or maybe go a little longer, depending on how you want it to go. You know, but the rules are really, really simple, and the instructions read relatively. It didn't take us long to figure out. I think a few minutes we read it between the three of us, and we kind of just figured it out. All right. Yeah. Especially after one playthrough, we were like, all right, we're good.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, Tom. So I think you'll agree with me. Don't get stabbed is a lot of fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, grab your friends, grab your family. 18 and up. You know, so grandma can play.
You can stab grandma.
Yes, you can. And grab some drinks. That always makes these things a lot more fun. Tom, I think you'll agree with me. 4.5 pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
So, 4.5 pumpkins. If you want to grab yourself a copy of Don't Get Stabbed, go over to don'tgetstabbed.com. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Haunted Hangover. Be sure to subscribe. And remember, the best cure to hangover is more booze.